Hello, soul friends. Welcome to Soul Garden, brought to you by SoulFlwr. This is episode 26. The entire podcast is on YouTube, but we will be showing clips of that on our other platforms, which are Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at this time. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channels and our other platforms. We also write for Brains Magazine, where we have received an award, the Cree Global Award, for our contributions through our writing and sacred service to the communities that tune in to inner work and shadow work and personal development. My name is Nicole. I am one of the practitioners here at SoulFlwr. The other practitioner is Sean. And we are delighted to bring you these episodes and bring you all of the other developments that are coming for SoulFlwr. We have some great surprises for you, and I am so excited. Those will be debuting here soon, but I would like to say that I am so very grateful to now have been doing this podcast for a year. Yes, October marks the year anniversary of this particular podcast. So, um, for those of you that are just tuning in, it's been a great conversation over the past year, and please, by all means, go and check out the other episodes if you're new. Again, my name is Nicole. I am the sole facilitator of this particular podcast. Every now and then, Sean peeks in. It is time for her to come and do a meditation for us. But she will be with me this week as we do have some announcements. A lot of the developments that we have been hinting at throughout the other podcast episodes and other platforms are complete. So we will be announcing that proudly, and we're excited to bring this material to you. Uh, Honestly, I don't see myself doing anything else, but sacred service is just who I am. Everything else hasn't turned out, it turned out, but nothing brings me more joy than doing what I'm doing right now, reaching out and connecting with other people who are interested in growing on a mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual level. Without further ado, let's get into our disclaimers. We do not own the rights to the music in the background that you hear. This is from, let me see, I knew it, but yeah, I know. It's from Positive Energy Vibration. They're here on YouTube, and this particular binary beat here, I think it's 528 hertz, but I don't want to lie to you. But it's about cleansing your aura and your space of toxic emotions. So, if you do tune into this while you're working or doing your daily routine, you can benefit from the uh, the frequency that is embedded within the music here. Also, please like, share, and subscribe to this particular creator because they have awesome images as well as awesome music, positive energy vibration, and they are here on YouTube. They they literally just created this not even 2 weeks ago. So um, please support them because those of us that are doing a sacred service to you, we deserve your support. If you looking for answers, please, by all means, support. All right, next disclaimer, because I got a lot to discuss. This probably be a part two to this, most definitely. We don't reach out for services unless it's Facebook posts, TikTok posts, Instagram posts. I'm reaching out to you right now on YouTube. We don't message you for anything. You have to come to us first. That's how the dialogue starts. When you make the choice to change, you have to reach out. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. Here we are, period. So if you ready, reach out. Don't get scammed, because we're not reaching out to you unless you reach out to us. If you let's see. I said it wasn't formal. This is for adults only. That means 18 and over. Not 17 and a half. Not 17, but this is your 18th year. 18 and over. No kids. Yeah. And that's on that. Let's move on because I got a lot to cover. All right. Today we're talking about the green flags of authentic vulnerability. We don't get a lot of talk about this. We just started having a conversation about this. Honestly, a real uh, conversation, because somebody that was very credible named Brene Brown uh, really opened us up to how this really works. Of course, no one really teaches us. They don't really teach us shit. They really just kind of tell us shit, and we can't ask why. Brene Brown is not like that at all. I don't even think she started out as this self help guru, so to speak. I think she started out on something that had absolutely nothing to do with this, do with personal development, and now she is, she did a pivot, and sometimes it be like that. You start out with one thing, and then you end up somewhere even greater. So that's that on that. But we'll be talking about the healthy aspects of it, because you can, the reason why we don't really want to practice this and it has such negative connotations is because, number one, we don't really comprehend how relationships and emotions work. So no one's really sat down and taught us this is what's appropriate and this is what is not. uh we in society tend to dwell in right and wrong, and normal and abnormal, when everything is unique on this planet. There's really no such thing as normal or abnormal, because everything fucking goes. So, that's that on that. But again, this is one of those taboo topics because nobody wants to look weak. And vulnerability is typically associated with being weak and being open to being manipulated, when vulnerability is actually a tool that you use within healthy relationships. That's why this is called the green flags of vulnerability. How that you are uh, practicing it in a healthy, healing way. So let's get into some of these green flags. I came up with 7. There are more, but the 7 that we're going to cover in this particular podcast episode. Um, yeah. So let's get into that. Before we get into that, though, we need to kind of define what it is. I'm always trying to find out what something is before I move forward. That's what my background in English taught me. So let's talk about what is vulnerability. Let's get us a definition going here. I had one, but I don't have one in my notes that I trust. Vulnerability. I'm just gonna type it in here. The quality or state of being exposed to the possibility of being attacked or harmed either physically or emotionally. So that didn't start out well at all, did it? Another one is the quality of being easily hurt or attacked. What it really is the state of being open and honest about your emotions, thoughts, your feelings, and your needs. Often, in despite a fear of rejection, judgment, or misunderstanding. So, you taking a risk, an emotional risk, in order to get someone to comprehend how you're feeling, how you're thinking, and what you need. All right, because it's really an exposure of the value that you hold with a person and with a relationship. You know, if you genuinely value a relationship, then there is really no uh excuse to not be vulnerable, right? Because we want that. If we want that relationship to continue to grow, we must be willing to practice vulnerability. Okay, the ability to be vulnerable, basically, the capacity, the practice of being open and honest about your emotions, your thoughts, and your needs in their relationship, and not wearing a mask. You know, not acting, not doing the person what you feel like the person wants you to do. That's codependency. That's not vulnerability. You know, there's actually manipulation and control. Vulnerability is, again, exposing your hand and being like, this is what it is. You know? So, let's move on. Why do we resist being vulnerable? We've already discussed it. It's a risk of rejection, it's a risk of judgment, and a risk of being misunderstood. Um, in a lot of instances, if you've made it what we call mistakes, it's the risk of that relationship ending. The risk, relationship, it's a risk of something ending or you are lost. So that's why we resist it so much. We don't want to, and we don't want to look weak. We don't want to look like the other person has the upper hand. It's a control issue in a lot of cases. All right, so let's look at some green flags of vulnerability. Later on, we'll get into. I'll talk about some of the red flags while I'm talking about the green flags, but then I'll go back and do a recap and add some more shit. You know how that is. So here, let's talk. Okay, let's go on. Green flags of true vulnerability, authentic vulnerability. Let's talk about it here. This is how you know for a fact that somebody is actually valuing the relationship that you have with them. I mean, this is because they revealing their hand to you. They telling you the truth of how they really feel and what they really need, or what really went down. All right. So here's the green flags and how to know somebody is, you know, they showing you value in the relationship, or value in whatever the fuck's going on. Timing in context. And this is showing you personal information. And this personal information is gradually and over time. And that way, that's how you gain someone's trust. Because over time, you become friends or more or whatever, and then you share personal information as trust is gained, as that person show you that they can be trusted. So whatever it is that you have as far as knowing that somebody can be trusted, hopefully some type of consistency of whatever you had some kind of pattern of behavior there where they show you that you could trust them over time and in the right context, right? And they are staying in whatever place that you put them in your life. That's a true sign of someone that uh is being vulnerable with you too, because that person over time they open up more, and they open up in times where it counts. They're trying to cheer you up, or you're trying to solve some type of issue that's going on in your life, things like that. So that's green flag number one. Green flag number two: emotional availability and reciprocity. So yes, they show signs of genuinely caring about you. Uh, how that plays out for you is based upon what you consider your quote unquote love language to be. Now, I recently heard that the love language theory was debunked somehow. So we're just gonna take the umbrella term love language and use it that way. Whatever the hell you think, whatever hell speaks to you as far as what you have interpreted love to be for you, they available to that shit, and they reciprocate. They reciprocate your how you feel. You resonate with that. So that's green flag number two. Green flag number three is no hidden motives. They're interested. Wait a minute, hold up. They're genuinely working to connect with you, and that's on an intimate level. They show you clearly that your feelings matter to them. They're not trying to uh, give you a little information so that they can get a lot of information out of you. That's a lot of that shit going on. Backbiters do that shit. People that gossip and people that want to use you do that. They'll give you a little bit of information so that you open up to them about everything that's going on in your life. That is not true vulnerability. True vulnerability has no hidden motives. Okay? And you can tell by what happens after you're vulnerable. Well, after you have that exchange of information, and I'm going by the example that I gave you, where somebody gives you information and then you give them information, and you know reciprocating personal information, but they don't go out and tell your shit to other people or exploit you in some type of way where they have the upper hand or they take advantage of you in some way. It's actually they actually really do want to invest into the relationships, and your feelings actually do matter, and whatever issue that's going on, they really do want to solve it, or they're say they did something, that was uh, offensive. Uh, you know, they're gonna own up to that. So there's no hidden motives. They respect your boundaries. Again, based off an example where somebody quote unquote made a mistake, or they offended you in some way, or they, or yeah, for a good example, yeah, those are good examples. If you don't want to talk about it, when they want to talk about it, then they're willing to respect that boundary. No is a whole sentence with them, and they're willing to wait until you're ready to talk about it. It goes back to timing and context, emotional availability, and reciprocity, and no hidden motives. They have nothing to hide. So, and they don't have a problem respecting your boundaries. Anyone that doesn't respect your boundaries has a hidden agenda. Healthy relationships, they require you to have boundaries. Always remember that. Green flag number 5 shows maturity and taking responsibility. They own up to their shit. If they did something, you ask them about it, they let you know about it. And they have integrity. That means they let the chips fall where they may. Again, this is about an emotional risk. So they're risking you either some type of consequence, you know, or some type of loss. It's a risk. So they own it up to their shit. And for instance, in my own experience, when I went through the experience of having a spouse cheat on me, the first spouse that I had, uh, they showed up and took responsibility for it and made steps to rectify that. And it was a pattern. Went to counseling. Um, did all of the things that I requested in order to feel safe in the relationship again. They're showing, they were showing maturity and taking responsibility. So that's how you know somebody's truly being vulnerable as well, truly wants the relationship, truly practicing vulnerability in the correct manner. Consistent. This go back to context and timing. They have a pattern of showing up. They have a pattern of being there. And this is after, uh, in the example of making a mistake, they're consistent. Or they did something offensive. They're consistent in their remorse. They're consistent in making amends. That's a big green flag. Consistency. And respecting your boundaries. They practice all 7 of these together. Then you have somebody that genuinely loves you unconditionally and wants to, uh, they want to have a relationship with you, or if by respecting your boundaries you don't want to see that person again, they respect it. They don't try to override it. Now my time is out, so what I'm going to do, I will continue this on a part 2. Okay? I will see you on the next on part 2. Until then, die well and live free.